Hi guys, I'm Kiko. This is Hollywood Bitcoin. I bought my first Bitcoin for $100 in 2013. And now I'm trying to use that to play the market and see what happens. What I want to analyze though, is this top that we just had. Because I know everybody's going through a lot of emotions. I know I am, of everything that just happened. I don't think any of us expected, $1 trillion market cap for market manipulation is powerful to be able to happen. If it was market manipulation, we're going to talk about that. So what we want to look at first is this wyckoff pattern, and some people might say this invalidated it, but I want to explain as to why this could actually help reinforce this wyckoff pattern that didn't break down here, but instead broke down here. Um, and I want to also go over Benjamin Cohen's regression bands, linear regression bands, which if you haven't heard about him or his channel, you should go over there, like and subscribe, and like and subscribe uncomplication as well for the wyckoff information. What we have here is on Benjamin Cohen's channel, we see this band. If you go there, if you check it out, he has lots of videos on it, and it shows that this band pretty accurately predicts the ranges of market bottoms and market tops of the cycles. Anybody with a lot of crypto or anybody with half a brain trading crypto should be on Benjamin Cohen's channel watching this stuff. So what was really important here, I think, is that we were touching the upper regression band here. And in the past, and what everyone is looking for now in order to get the signal to sell for that end of the market, they want this big blow off top here. And they wanted to hit the top of the regression band. So as we were all waiting for the top of the regression band, let's say that these poorly drawn lines are something like the regression band, because I'm not going to look one up or make one up now, because the top of the upper regression band was like at 89 back here and like 100 something up here. And what we were all waiting for, what the crypto experts were waiting for, was this accelerated movement up to that. So what does that have to do with Wyckoff's pattern? And we go here and we see this. Well, I want to show you these bands in the Wyckoff pattern. Whoa. So if you take these, every time since the whales were able to control this, what are the signs that they were able to control this? It goes up here, and from this type of correction, we expect a much higher high than this high. I think a lot of people expected like 65, 67,000 right here. And here we were expecting closer to 69 or 70,000. And here I even thought we could break up, but a lot of people were acknowledged that I talked to that it was getting kind of heated here. And that's what I want to mention too, is that the wyckoff, people playing this out, they didn't predict this. What happened? I believe that the Bitcoin buying pressure was so huge while they played this out that as they tried to start this sell-off, there was a massive pushback by the public to buy it up, because we all know how amazing crypto is. Okay? Screw the dollar. The government has screwed us over in everything, in every way. I go to work and then my car got towed for no reason today in a place I park everywhere because a production company wanted to set up. I'm in Hollywood. They didn't give me the right notice, and now I'm in the whole $500. That's like a week's salary for me. So there's really no way to go ahead. Working, the only way is to invest. Now they're going to take advantage of us retail investors, because we know what's hot, and they're going to try to shake us out. They're going to try to psychologically manipulate us, and they can, because the Bitcoin whales, I think, have a lot more Bitcoin than we really comprehend. I wonder if the people who started it, created it, 10, 12, 13 years ago, they're still around. So I wonder how much planning went into each cycle. you know, if they went over this, if they went over the regression bands, or now it seems like there is a consensus on the regression bands to let them control the market. Because the smart money has to take control and slowly bleed out the retail. So as we see the diminishing returns of cycles, and Benjamin Cohen also talks about the diminishing return of each cycle. Here we had about a 20x increase from the past all-time high, and here we're only currently at a 3x at our all-time high from the last all-time high. Now, why is bouncing off this regression pattern, I think, for so long and not touching the top indicative? I want to say that it's indicative of actually a cycle peak. I think everybody's talking about, you know, this going back down, coming back up, and then touching the upper regression band, and then going back down and starting another cycle after 2024. Well, is that possible? Absolutely, that's possible. In fact, I think it's more likely because everybody else talking about those things understands way more about the Bitcoin price than I do. And I don't really understand that much. I'm kind of an idiot. I just like patterns and certain forces of momentum make sense to me. So what do I really want to talk about that really makes a big difference here? It's these lines. So this one here where we kept pushing, where we were pushing harder than the whales wanted, was then ended by a tweet by Elon Musk, which was suggested. It was commenting on a scam crypto whales Twitter, acknowledging that, you know, wouldn't it be funny if everybody found out that Tesla sold their Bitcoin? Now, I knew they didn't sell their Bitcoin. They said they weren't going to sell it. They were going to hold it. I had faith, but, you know, we all know that the Elon drama, everybody loves Elon drama to shake the market up. And you know, so, and this was really heated, and it was enough to then, since we weren't able to break this resistance upward that we needed to then confirm that breakout, just immediately rejected, combined with FUD, you know, the Chinese banning Bitcoin, though it's been banned in China for I don't know how long, years, half a decade, and really forcing this price down. Drops like this, they just seem like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, crypto going in and out of exchanges, it's at the same amount, a lot of small manipulation going on here and there. But the biggest thing I want to talk about, and I keep getting to this, is these lines, these 4 lines, 3, 4. And the regular wyckoffs would only have 3. But this one doesn't invalidate it because it's using the same function of these. And what the function of each of these lines is that they have this line here in the bottom resistance and the upper resistance where they can sell at each one of these 3 points because they know these 3 points. It's the Wyckoff's pattern. They can sell as hard as they want, and they do, to stop from the peak from getting too carried away into the upper regression band, so that people don't feel like it's a market top yet. So they're closing it down right there, so we have a lot of uncertainty. They're leaving it open. Like, this is clear place. They're leaving it open so that if they want to crash till the next cycle and buy more, they can. And they can justify this by what I'm about to explain. And if they want to pump it again, they can. They're leaving it open both ways. And a lot of you will notice on the patterns as you're watching, you know, the daily time frame, the hourly time frame, even the minute time frame, the weekly time frame, every time frame, you will see that Bitcoin tends to stay on a level which is kind of in an uncertainty. And right now, we're on this level between 40K and 44K, I believe, is the max pain for both longers, people longing and shorting. Either way, they can get into huge trouble from this position. And that's what the whales want. They want to be in charge. They're the ones that are going to decide it's going to go down, is it going to go up? And what I think they're gearing for is another leg down here. Because if we look at the wyckoff pattern, this is 43,000. We go down to 28,000, and it still keeps going down. It's not on here, but this last phase still it still keeps going down. Maybe I should bring it up. Okay, so you can see this we haven't even started phase E here. And if we go over here, we could see, this is phase D next to this line. This is phase D next to this line, and then, that's where we are, kind of phase D underneath these support lines, trying to climb up. And here's phase E though. Okay, this is part of the plan. And they've been in control, so I don't see why it's not going to happen at this point. And I think it could not happen because the whales can do whatever they want. But it seems like it's planned out that this is what they want to happen. You can look up wychoffs. This guy here does a great job talking about it, kind of the details on what it does. And that's where we're about to get into right now, is that each of these points, each of these lines is meant to exhaust the buying pressure. Okay, so that's key here. And I'm going to do something here that might not be mathematical, it might not be a pattern, whatever. If they know every single place to sell and every single place to buy for these couple months here, they can artificially create a high for themselves by adding all these points. And if we add all these together, oh, what's that? We're approaching right there, This one's kind of short. So we're approaching right there, exactly as on the upper regression band. So that's just when people say, and I want to believe that the market is gonna maybe trend sideways, a little down, and go back up and hit the upper regression. As Benjamin Cohen says, we can all sing Kumbaya, start selling, and get ready for the next cycle, which people think will happen at the end of, maybe October 2021 or even December 22, as far as the dates out on this point. Now, I would love for this to happen, but I'm a realistic person, and when I see this pattern, and congratulations, Carl the Moon for calling this head and shoulders perfectly. So this is what has played out as a big head and shoulders here. But it still seems like part of this wyckoff pattern. And why I think that this doesn't invalidate the wyckoff pattern is because it's just building another exhaustion pattern to leg up, and even shows exactly that by adding this one on, we reach a good approximation of the upper regression band, and then we immediately crash down. So artificially, by the wyckoff distribution pattern, artificially for the people and the whales manipulating it, we have their market cycle peak right here. We get zone out, and then and then this massive leg, another leg down, which let's say it'll bottom up above 20K, because nobody wants it to go past. In all of history, every market cycle has never gone, once it's gone past the previous all-time high from the last cycle, it has never gone under that again. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like huge for me, is knowing, like, as soon as Bitcoin went past 20K, I knew I went all in. I took out a loan for like 15 grand, which is the most I could, or at least I tried to, and I just put everything I could in Bitcoin at this level, which was on top of already my holdings. And me and my SO did buy. My SO, who was listening to me, did buy. Has exactly right here, 1 Bitcoin. So from that we were able to survive off COVID. Now we have all the COVID news, and it's possible this is just a market manipulation by everybody's collective psychology working together to psych us out, and this is what happens. But it seems like it's bigger, and one of the key indicators here that I think it's intentional is that at this point right here, when I thought that we had the strength, and other people did too because we were buying, to break up to 69K, this key moment, like you guys can go back and like look at the screenshot of Elon's tweet. But this seems to me it was an exact, I mean, this is a daily time frame. So it could have been any of these days, probably this one, maybe this one here. And that would be the exact time that he made that tweet that didn't make any sense. And it just helped push the market down. It helped, and then the whales sold. If the whales sold right there, you know, or did some more manipulation with their larger holdings, bam. And we know Elon sold up here 10%. You know, and that's all it takes out of a few $1 billion to make a ginormous profit. So, you know, maybe they wanted to hold at 33 because that was one of their entry prices at Tesla. But personally, I think this manipulation could be bigger than Elon. Like maybe Elon didn't even know about this, and or maybe he found out after he got into it, and the bigger whales who have been longer term founders or whatever are just playing this off. But this is a big concern to me that on all the rest of history, Bitcoin, you know, had this massive blow off top, and there was one case where it like came up, but it was and then went back up again, but it was still a blow off top here, I feel. So I feel like this could be artificially created blow off top here, if we just, you know, say that this is a massive invisible wick that none of us got to take advantage of, but all these whale manipulators got to take advantage of. It would be this. So they got to sell up here by accumulating each one of these sell points, by knowing exactly when to buy, and buying before, you know, just having lots, just having tons, and just being able to recycle them. And that's just what I want to say. I want to know what you guys think about this, you know, quadruple buying pressure exhaustion, because that is what Wyckoff talks about in his textbook. That each one of these leg ups is, each one of these pushes is meant to exhaust the buying pressure. The same buying pressure that if the whales just wanted to share this top, they would just hold because Bitcoin was going to this price. You know, everyone was buying here, exhausting it. You know, everyone who bought here to push these prices up, they didn't want Bitcoin to go down here. They thought it would go up here. So if the whales also bought here and then just sold here, you know, it's just not really a fair game. It's not fair, and it's cutting it. You know, we all got textbooked. You know, if this was a game of chess, we got a textbook move slapped on us, and everybody's way more immature than we ever thought, because nobody took this seriously. Okay, except maybe this kid. I still think nobody wants to take it seriously now. Nobody wants Bitcoin to go to 18K, 20K. Nobody wants to test all these supports in here. Nobody that loves Bitcoin, or maybe you do. Maybe that's what'll give us a big bounce. But I'm thinking that we don't want to test these. We know Bitcoin is the future. Sorry, I feel a bit tired. So I'm gonna wrap it up soon. So leave comments, please. Like, subscribe, whatever. Definitely like and subscribe. Benjamin Cowen. Go over to his channel right now. Subscribe to Benjamin Cowen. Click the alerts. The moon, I believe, has great technical analysis, 9 times out of 10. You know, he spotted this potential head and shoulders, and I saw shout out to Crypto Face, the star of Crypto Cipher, made a $1.6 million trade, doing a short here, and riding the long on the bounce where he closed exactly at the tip here and amazing profits on this bounce. One of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. So if you're in a Bitcoin, if you've been studying all these patterns, you're looking at this technical analysis, go ahead, leave a comment. Tell me why I'm an absolute idiot, why there's no way this is true, why we're definitely going to have another market cycle peak up here. And, I'm saying maybe we could. Either way, we could have another peak. But what I'm saying is this looks like an artificial blow off top to me, like a blow off top that never happened for real, but that was artificially created through exhausting the buying pressure up here uh, using the wyckoff pattern. And that's all I have to say about that today. So leave me a comment telling me how much of an idiot I am, or educate me. Let me know what kind of support do we really have around uh, these levels that we're going to make that we're going to go up, or we're going to correct down, or if we're going to move sideways. Let me know what you think, how it's going to play out. Um, Thank you so much for watching. If this was any interest to you, let me know, as my life's pretty much useless. But if you guys come up with anything, let me know. Shout out from Kiko in Hollywood.